Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you are most welcome. You are most welcome. Please don't leave without subscribing, and if you are a returning subscriber, cool. Just you seeing the title of the story, which I still don't know how am I gonna title it, but it's about my 2010 World Cup experience with Ghanaians. I was hosting Ghanaians, guys. This story was supposed to take place long time ago, but the fact of the things that happened there, it was not easy for me to share the story time. But anyway, I'm here now today. I'm brave enough to come and redeem myself, and yeah, I was not caught. Tutti didn't catch me, so I'm still here. I'm still a residence manager. I'm still working here. Today, okay, the time is around 11, so it means that it's my snack time. So I'm gonna be having my snack time. My snack time has like a fruit bowl with banana, yogurt, and grapes, and sprinkled of chai seed. It's what I'm gonna be eating. My chair is making noise. So it's what I'm gonna be eating while I'm sharing the story. And I also have the bev, the drink, my favorite drink, which is lift off with hydrate. Very, very nice. Cheers to you. Okay, you cheers and then you drink. You can't cheers without drinking. So for this particular story time, that is gonna take probably long, because I'm gonna be trying to remember the sequence of events, because it's a long time ago. 2010 is a long time ago. Today is like 2023. So after 13 years, I am brave enough to come and share this story. Cheers with you. My beautiful and nice bev. So guys, okay, let's start with a story time. I don't want to ramble because the story is gonna take long, and please just get yourself a drink or something so that you can sit down and listen to this beautiful story of mine that happened in 2010 when Philip was here. That was the theme. If you were not here in 2010, take your drink and listen to me and tell you exactly what was happening. Basically, maybe let me take you back. 2004, May 15, it was announced that South Africa will be hosting the World Cup in 2010. I am telling you, it was insane. We were so excited. Everyone was excited. Everybody was thinking about, the preparation that took place between that 6 years before 2010. It was insane. Each and every industry was just thinking about, how am I going to grow my business? What is going to happen in my life? Everyone was having a lot of thoughts. It's like every person was thinking about, maybe there's gonna be an increase of employment, or things are just gonna go. It was as if we were waiting for Jesus Christ. When we are preparing for Jesus to come, it was insane. This is the only way that I'm gonna explain how much we're so excited. Not only in South Africa, the whole continent, Africa. The fact that it was gonna be the first time that Africa is hosting World Cup soccer, World Cup. I'm telling you, it was insane. It was announced. I think even I was even in my own thought. I was even thinking that maybe even the thieves are also thinking about how they're gonna be snatching the cameras from the people from outside, because I think World Cup has so many countries. I can't tell how many countries were here, but I can't remember. But this is not the story that I'm focusing. I'm just giving you like I'm painting a picture of how many countries came to South Africa to support 2010 World Cup. It was insane. So at that time, when it was announced, I was still working at Student Life, not at residences. But in 2009, I was then appointed to this particular rest where I'm sitting in right now. I was working here as the residence manager. I'm still working as a residence manager. and yeah, I was appointed. At that time, I had no idea what's gonna, when the World Cup was announced, I didn't know where I was gonna be by that time, but all I was thinking that I was gonna be in stadiums and watching soccer and having fun. That was me thinking. But then, unfortunately, now I was appointed as a residence manager. In residences, we have what we called holiday groups. Holiday groups, it means like when students are at home during recess, June and December, we normally have what we call holiday groups. So we take leaves as residence managers and be reappointed to host now the external clients that came for just particular period. So you have to take leave because you are not at work, but you are working in your own space. Just to explain a little bit so that you don't get lost, how did it get to me to be part of hosting Ghanaians during World Cup? So it was June. The World Cup started in June. So it was holidays. Students were home. No one was here. It was empty. And there was I don't know whether it's a policy or what, but as residents, as TUT, we're not supposed to host, like doing housekeeping of some sort. It has to be a company that is reputable to be able to host international guests. So we were appointed by a specific company. Basically, I was appointed by a company called Simple Beds, in my own space, in my own job, but not working for TUT, working for Simple Beds for that particular time. Guys, my light keeps on, because I'm using only just the natural light. So when my light keeps on going, changing, just understand and bear with me as I'm sharing my story. Okay, I was explaining that TUT did not appoint me to host 2010 World Cup, but I was appointed by Simple Beds, private company that use our facility to host. So in our own in our own campus or in our own residences, we had so many countries to host. I know that I was allocated to host Ghanaians. Not only me, and my other colleague was also supposed to host Ghanaians, because the government, the Ghana government actually supported this initiative of South Africa hosting 2010 and gave 250 people to come and support, because Ghana on its own was also part of the teams that were playing during the World Cup. One of the African best team that I can imagine in Africa. Ghana team is doing the most. So here we're hosting different countries. I know that even one of the residences was hosting Germany, and the fan club of Germany was here in our campus. We even had this other friend of mine who is very fluent in Germany languages. I don't know what name of the language, but he's very fluent, as if like he's speaking his own Tswana language. He's very, very fluent. He was also appointed during that time to be actually the translator and taking people around, the Germans to know about South Africa and all these tough attraction around South Africa or Pretoria. So this is how much it was insane. Students around, they were also appointed. I remember I also had about 4 ladies that I was working. Was it 4 or 5? I can't remember. 4 or 5 ladies that I was working with in this race, and me as a race manager under Simple Beds. Still, I was working with those 5 appointed students. Most of the students that were appointed were coming from the very same campus, which is Tshwane University of Technology. They were appointed, they went through interviews and all of those, but yeah, as cool up. It says a little juicy, but just be patient with me as I share this story time. Be patient, because you guys, a lot happened during that time, ne? So now then we had rules that were coming from Simple Base. They were different from the rules that we have addressed, because now we are getting like a new contract coming in to appoint us. We have rules. And I remember that every morning we used to come as a residence managers and TUT staff. We will meet every morning just to track all those things that are happening, like numbers, how many people have came, already have signed in, blah, 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 all of those. So we used to have that every morning. We'll meet and talk and share about our challenges, numbers of the people that have signed in, the well-being of the visitors, and our own well-being, and all the challenges that might have came if you are hosting international guests. You might not understand, but I do understand because I'm working at the residence, né? So, but one of the most difficult rules that we had was that we were not supposed to mingle with the guest. We are not supposed to mingle with the guest, and this is where I failed. It was very difficult because in my mind, before I came to the residences, to work at the residences, I had my own dream to be part of this amazing experience called 2010 South African or FIFA World Cup. But now, number one, students are not here, my family are not here, everybody is having fun everywhere, and then we are just told that we must just be inside, we must be indoors as if there's nothing happening, you know. But anyway, I failed, guys. I dismally failed to actually follow that rule. Sorry, TUT, I messed up with you, but I did. I just want to come out and tell the truth that I didn't follow that rule of not mingle with the guests. I didn't. So we hosted a lot of different countries, ne? I'm not going to mention all of them because, you know, some of the residences would be hosting Americans. They were happy. Some they were hosting like different countries. But now I want to talk about my Ghanaians. Or the other part that maybe I can share. Remember I told you that we had a fan club from one of the residences whereby the Germans were staying. I remember even I heard that one old man from Germany who actually wanted to hire a car at Europe car. Yeah, it's Europe car. Yeah, wanted to hire, but now he doesn't know how to explain himself and speak English. It was a challenge, but he met me. I can't even remember where we met, but he met me and say, please help me. Even myself, I could not understand him, but he will speak very slowly and try to explain to me so that, okay, I want to hire a car that is gonna take me around the Pretoria city because of what. But yes, I remember I called the Europe car and I explained this guy wants to hire the car, and then they were asking questions, and then I was able to assist that guy. For me, just to make that call, I was getting dollars. People were paying us as if like we are the poorest nation. But anyway, it was nice, and I was enjoying that, the free money, just to make a call. Even if you say no, it's fine, they said no, take the money. And then who will say no to money? Who will say no to money? So, and then I remember even when he went to fetch the car, I took him there at Hatfield to pick up the car, and then he was following me because now I'll even show him and then help him on how to Google how to get there. Every time, every conversation I had with that guy, I won't explain, I won't even share how much I made from just one man, just to assist him to be moving around as collab. Let's go back to my experience in my Ghanaians during the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Okay, now now is the first day. Not the first day per se, because I think the 2010 World Cup started on the 13th of June. I remember the first goal that was done by Sphelly Chabalala. Yeah, it made a lot of news because we were so excited as South Africa. Remember, we have never even gotten to semis or even to quarterfinals as far as the World Cup is concerned. All we wanted was to host. All we wanted just experience as the South Africans. But anyway, let me go straight to the juices of how did we get to be having so much fun when it comes to hosting the Ghanaians. I remember that, when we are hosting during the holiday groups, each and everyone, actually let me put it in this one, because this one was particular than any other, because every residences was hosting different countries and blah blah blah. But so I already told you that it was 250 Ghanaians that were coming here. So, and they were not coming like all of them at the same time. They were coming bit by bit. So the first day that we were hosting the Ghanaians, I remember I get the call that your people are here, go down, meet them so that you can show them how to get to your res and blah 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 blah. Yes, me and my colleague, we went down to meet our guests. When we got there, there was a bus and 2 or 3 kumbis, I can't remember how many kumbis, but there was a bus and there was also about 3 kumbis. So because everyone, now we have to share in terms of numbers as to, okay, now bus has about 60 people and then there's these 30 people from the kumbis. So how are we going to share so that we can get a fair share to start allocating in our residences? Because everybody wanted to finish with allocation so that we can be able to sit down and also have an experience of hosting and watching the games and so forth. You know me about soccer, I love soccer and I want to watch soccer and I don't want disturbance. So my colleague, when we got there, and then he said, can I take the first bunch? I'm like, it's gonna be unfair, let's share. And then this is the part that I love the most. While we were busy arguing about who is gonna take who where, I overheard one of the guys who were coming from the kumbis and said, no ways, I'm not gonna be sharing with these people. I don't want to stay with these people. He was referring to the people who were from the bus. Let me just explain what was happening. In the bus, there were those general spectators that are singing out of their lungs. They are loud, they are so excited, looking forward to make sure that they support their players. Those are the people who are from the bus. And the people from the kumbis, these ones I'm talking about the doctors that were actually sent by the government just to make sure that all the spectators are well, they focus on their well-being, make sure that every kind of medication that they need, they can be able to support them. There were businessmen, there were journalists from the kumbis, there were journalists, there were DJs, there were people from the radio stations. I don't want to mention names because now I know, now they are my friends. I don't want to mention them. And there were like some people who are from banking industry like MTN, Vodacom from Ghana. Those are the people, like, they were there for, they were like, I think they were, if I can give you a brief, you know, when you go to the stadium, there's a grandstand. People are just singing and making noise, shouting and screaming. Those are the people from the bus. And then there's a suite. Each and every stadium, there's a suite, there's a VIP, there's a VVIP. So I got even the people from like coaches of Asante Kotoko. Is one of the team that I also used to watch before even the 2010 World Cup. I always knew about Asante Kotoko when he's playing with Chiefs and Pirates and, you know, all those. So I overheard that they don't want to mix with this one. I heard, and because Mina, I know the type of people that go to stadiums. I know the grandstand people. I also know the suit people. So when my colleague was, and when me and my colleague were arguing about who's taking who, because I heard that, I just went and said, you know what, take the bus. I'll take the other ones, the few ones. I think he took 60 people. I took 30 people from the kumbis. He was happy because he was gonna feel harassed very fast. I took the people from the kumbis, took them to the rest, and you know, those ones, the smelling good ones, the ones who speak English proper, the people who you can see that they smell money, those are the people that I hosted. And then I hosted my people. We went on and on and on. It was nice. I remember even from that first group, I met some young guys that were more or less the same age as me, because most of the people that go to stadium, they are old, and some of them, like the businessmen, and they are older, but there was those guys who were younger in that group. So I even remember that I even asked them to help me to assemble the TV. Remember, we are not supposed to meet with the guest, but because now the World Cup is about to start, and then I just recently bought myself a new TV for this World Cup, because now I already knew that I'm not gonna be out there in stadium and watching or going to some fan club or whatever. So now I asked this guy to come and assemble my TV, which they did with pleasure, and they were so happy, and we started being friends with them. And when I'm saying I started being friends with them, I'm still friends with them even today, as they're still my friends. So then they came and assembled the TV. We started chatting. The good thing about my team that I was working with, it was just only ladies. I'm working with ladies, and then the whole 2010 I was working with ladies. You know, we had our own reservation about hosting Ghana. We're also thinking about, oh my word, because you know, most people from other countries, we always sometimes find them speaking very loud and shouting, you know, with Ghanaians. I'm telling you, Hashem, they can be very loud. They were very, very, very loud. But I can tell you, the relationship that I have with them is still, even today, I will go to Ghana just to visit them, because now I'm brave enough. Before, when they said to me, come and visit in Ghana, we're gonna host you, it's gonna be nice, come there. I did not believe. I was like, there's no way that I'll go there. But anyway, it was nice. So but it ended in tears. I'm gonna tell you how it ended in tears, but I'm still gonna get to the bottom of that part. Here I am. Oh, okay, one of the rules that I didn't mention is that I was only working during the day. My students that I was working with, or the team that I was working with, they were having shifts. Some they would work during the day, some they would work in the evening, but I was working only during the day, and then nighttime was my nighttime. This is where the juices started, because now these friends of mine from Ghana, they will always want us to go out at night. I was free at night. I could go, I could do whatever, but I must just be here, back, even if it means by 8 in the morning, because our meeting was starting at 9. But I remember I would take them to Umoja. I took them to Umoja production for them to watch and see the theater. For the first time they went to the theater, they loved it. I even took them to cards, if you know cards. I remember one of them even said, you know what, I'm telling you, Ghana government will never allow cards to play. There is no way. But they enjoyed the production at State Theatre, and Umoja was at Civic Theatre. I remember there was even some students that we were also hosting here, the LOC. They were staying in some of the residences. They were working as volunteers throughout the whole World Cup. One of the people that I was very close to, actually my chairperson, who was a chairperson at the time here at the rest, he was working as a volunteer during the 2010. My cousin, who was also still a student, but he was already having a car, was also in the LOC, was staying around. So they were also working during the day, not at night. So I remember the day that we went to watch Umoja at Civic Theatre in Johannesburg. It was 2 cars. I remember I was still driving the taxi at that time. We were calling me like, you see, this lady is the big woman. And then I didn't understand what is a big woman. And then only later I knew that When they say the woman is a big woman, they mean your money. Never. I was not even having a lot of money, and I didn't even have money. Not that I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have money. So I remember we would be driving to Civic Theater with me and my cousin, taking them. It would be like it would be 10 of us going to watch Umoja. And at that time, one of my friends was actually playing at Umoja. I'll tell them, this is my friend, and then after the show, I make them to meet my friend, and they were excited. It was just too nice. After that, we'll come back, and then we go maybe to sit in any of the restaurant. We're just changing restaurants, like, you know, we're changing as if we are changing our underwear. Today we go there, the other day we go there. Every time we go, every evening we will go out with these guys. And these guys will always say, oh, that's another thing. I think I went to Umoja 3 times, because one team that I went to watch Umoja, it was those friends of mine that I met, the ones that were assembling my TV. And then they came back and tell the others, and then the others, Sphelly, why didn't you tell us? We also wanna go. And every time I'm going with them, they will fill up my car, and then when I come back the following day, the ones that are not filling, because the car can't be filled every day, they will give me money and say, you pour your petrol later on, take us there. I didn't pay for the show. I didn't pay for any meal during that time, because those people were saying, no, a woman can never pay a bill. Because of me at that time. And the good thing is that I was not even dating anyone at that time. I was a single like this. Now I'm still single. So I will just go, and then now I'm so used to paying my own bills. I said, like, no, don't pay. And they will say, you just say whatever that you want. Oh, guys, in 2010, guys, it was another year. Just thinking about it now, I'm thinking, no, let's continue. So I will go with them, watch shows, and then the way we saw, when I was going out with them, you remember my students were having shifts, né? Today I'll go with these ones, and then the following day I'm going with the other ones. And we used to do that, and then it would be so nice. And I even remember one day, the first time that I drank Amarula, Don Pedro. You know, when people are taking you out and then they just want to spend a lot of money, and then you keep on saying, no, I'm not drinking. I said, like, I ended up saying, you know what, Don Pedro must just come to the table. That's how I started drinking Amarula with ice cream. More. But, you know, it was just for that time. Not that I'm drinking now. I'll drink if I want, because at least I've tasted it and then I loved it. So, hey, what else happened? Oh, how can I forget this story, this juicy one? Obviously, they are men. They also would try to, you know, approach or wanting to, you know, but they were not like those guys that are, now I gave you, spend my money, then I want. No, they were not. That was not the case. But I even remember there was even a guy who they said he's from the hotel industry. He's owning hotels and constructions in Ghana. I remember that guy. We used to call him Oros, because sometimes I get the good thing is that some of the things they didn't hear us as we were talking to them, because I remember we used to call that guy Oros. He doesn't even know what is Oros, because probably, I don't know in Ghana if there's no Oros or something, but they didn't know why we're saying, hey, Oros, you know what in. Because this guy was short and fat, just like, you know, the guy from the Oros. He looked exactly like that, but that guy has a lot of money. I remember one day the caterer that was appointed by Simple Bits, who used to come here and dish for the Ghanaian food. Sometimes the food, they didn't like the food. I remember this guy one day just decided, you know what, We don't want this food, it must go. And the food, oh, for me it was not, it was smelling very bad. I didn't like the smell of the food when the caterer bring the food, but probably it was a Ghanaian food, I don't know. I remember one day this guy just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna buy everyone KFC, obviously including us, because we're part of this team now that we are hosting. I'm telling you, oh, I didn't tell you that they were coming bit by bit. So obviously they will be communicating and saying, no, spectators are there, and then the big boys are here. So I remember there was even a time when we actually got a guy whom, you know, man, cultural barrier, barrier that we face. This guy came here and then he was telling us that he's a son of a prince, and then these guys, our friends would say, yes, he is a son of a prince. But so what does it mean? Now we are not going to treat him differently and so, you know, cultural or traditions. And in South Africa, we are a prince, we are what, we don't know, we don't care. We just treated everyone, but we were so professional as we were in our desk serving our clients, making sure that this is the memorial, or it's the memory that will always stick into their heads for the longest time, just coming into South Africa and experience our beautiful country. This is exactly what we tried to do. Okay, I was talking about Oros. Oros bought about, I think I hosted about 120 from the 250 people here. I think it was 120 people that I hosted in my rest. This guy bought us food, including us. Maybe he bought, because even the cleaners here, he just said, no, I'm gonna buy everyone food. He bought us food. The caterer had to leave with the food that brought, because the food was late, and then the food was cold, and the food was not nice, and all of those. The guy just decided, yeah, I'm gonna buy everyone food. I remember this guy and was actually flirting and wanting to be, you know, I don't want to even, the gashela, basically, you know. Now I was being called, now I was the princess of this race. I was the face, I was everything. Everybody loved me, from Ghanaians, everyone, because even the people who were staying on the other race will come here and say they want to see me, and they also want to move to my, it was just a lot. But as Kolapo, some of these guys, obviously they were looking for girlfriends. I remember they would always compare the bums from South Africans against Ghana. They said, you're South African bums, and like, it was just a lot. But I remember there was this other doctor who also was flirting with me, and this doctor, he was staying, you know, the doctors, floor 6, all the doctors were staying. My rest has floor 6, has 6 floors, yeah. So doctors were in floor 6, and I remember this doctor, he was cute, he was very cute, and I was taken. And if probably it was a South African doctor, I was gonna be taken away. But anyway, so the doctor, we had a lot of few dating, like going out. I remember even at that time my hairstylist was a Ghanaian. Somewhere in Arcadia, I took him there. I also, that lady also told her that there is another restaurant that sells good Ghanaian food, and then we went there to just taste those Ghanaian cuisines. I didn't like it, not at all. I'm not a fan. I didn't like it. So all these few days and so forth, obviously we changed numbers and all of those. It was nice. I remember this guy went home. I don't know what happened, but I got a call from the wife. The wife called me and said to me, okay, lady, how many men were there? How many men were there? He was very, very pissed and shouting and said, how many men? How many men were there? I didn't understand the question. I didn't even understand why must I explain how many men. There were so many men. And then when I said, like, there were a lot, and it's like, then why did you give my man your number? Because he asked. Yo, the lady told me that. What did he say? The best line that we used to use and say, I'm going to, or you're gonna die in a mysterious way, something like that. So I remember I was telling my students, I guess now they were gone. So now I'm telling my students that you guys, I got a call from the doctor's wife. The doctor's wife is saying it's gonna kill me in a mysterious way. And I remember at that time, I remember people used to talk about the people from Africa say that you, if let's say they plating you and then you didn't pay, and they say you will see. So all of those things, it was coming into like, yo, what if then this lady is gonna be? I kept on telling her that I'm not dating your husband. It's just that we had conversation, but I didn't date your husband. I had to explain myself over and over and over. But the good thing is that at least at some point, probably she understood, because he never called me, because I called the doctor and said, please, actually I texted the doctor, tell your wife the truth, tell your wife that we had no relationships, nothing happened between me and you, please tell your wife. And then I think the wife believed the husband, as I said, please. And then I've never spoken to the doctor from that day, because I realized that, yo, I don't want to die in a mysterious way. as the lady said, I'm gonna kill you in a mysterious way. I'm going, whoa, I'm telling you. But anyway, my friends from Ghana. Oh, another story that was very funny. It was when the other lady, I still have contact with her. She was even in Herbalife. Not at that time, I was not a Herbalife distributor. I was not even using Herbalife. But that lady, she's now in Herbalife. Remember, in Ghana there is Herbalife, and I also want to pursue a team there, because I think I love Ghana. I love the Ghanaians. I love the Ghanaians. I love them. I would love to have a member there. But anyway, so this lady was also, I remember one day she woke up and she was shouting at me and said now she's coming from the breakfast and the breakfast now is finished. How come you guys said the breakfast ended at 10? I'm like, yes, it ended at 10. And then she said, no, but look. And then I'm looking at my watch. At that time it was 10 to 12, and then her watch was saying 10 to 10, and then she was like, shit. I'm like, what? Sorry to say that. I'm saying what she said, it's not what I'm saying that, but she said, oh, she forgot to actually switch the time. She forgot about the time zone. Ghana time zone is 2 hours behind us. So now she thought that she's on time, because she was looking awesome. She was coming, doing the makeup. She was looking good, carrying the stuff and thinking that she's coming to have her breakfast. But she was just too late. And then she just said, I'm so sorry, because she shouted at me, you said the breakfast is ended at 10. But now I went to the dining hall. Dining hall is closed. What is happening? You guys are... She said all of these things. But I was like, but it's 10 to 12 now. But anyway, oh guys, there was the one thing that was more nice. They told me in Ghana there are only 2 seasons. It's a rainy season and summer. There's no winter. So now they came here. Number one, in my res is one of the most cold place ever, because it's made out of concrete, and it's in between the buildings. So there's no sun coming in. So Ghanaians had to go to Madagascar to buy a lot of the blankets, being big blankets, bought techies, because they said when they don't wear techies, they always wear like the flip-flops, slides. They don't wear like closed shoes most of the time, because of it's too hot in Ghana. It's too hot. It's either it's a rainy season, or it's a hot season. There's no winter, just like us here. So when they were leaving, they left all the techies, they left all the blankets, they left heaters. But I was having a good time. I remember they would buy some of the turkeys that they bought, they won them twice. The blankets that they used, I left with so many things. I was just giving where I could give everyone everything. The good part, they left us with some dollars. Some dollars. For the first time that I was able to have dollar in my wallet, it was when the Ghanaians were here and they left us with a lot of moolah, because they said no, we're not using this. They're using the, what is I will put it here, their currency. I just forgot now that I wanted to say it, because I always say it in my meetings at Herbalife, but now I will put it here because for now it's not something that I wanted to talk about, but yeah, it just came. So they left us money, so it was just too nice. And the later story, after I think 2 years late, not 2 years later, but every time they are coming into South Africa, we have a good time with them. They will come with their wives and then we meet them and we'll have lunch and we'll have a lot of fun. I remember there was a time when I was even coming from, where was I? I was coming from somewhere in Kempton Park, and I drove to Sentin to meet one of my friends with the wife, because even the wife wanted to meet us because the experience that we gave to their husband in South Africa. I'm sure their wives wanted, because their wives, they wanted to meet us just to know that no, nothing happens. We're just two friends. We're just friends, and then we were so happy to be together throughout the 2010 World Cup. So I met them. We shared the stories, and then at some point we went to one of the restaurants. We ate. They still paid, even now, even if I'm the one supposed to be hosting them, because now they're coming from. I remember there was a time when one of the friends actually met someone who was from immigrant. That lady's from immigrant. He was in Ghana. She's working for MTN. That lady came with some stuff. I remember that. What do we call that thing that you can put your feet under your desk in the table? But I'll put it here. I'll share the picture of that. He brought me a lot of things, a book, even there was just a lot. There was even a t-shirt from Ghana. Some of the Ghanaians things that I still have here, I still have it, and then every time I can't throw them. I can't, because I love them so much. I love my Ghanaians people. I even have a short that when they visited in South Africa, they brought me something to a short, but they are just giving and oh guys. And not so long ago, another one, I think in 2018, before I could even suffer the stroke, one of the guys came to Sentin to visit South Africa again. We met at Rhapsody, to have a lunch. He still paid again. He said, no, in Ghana, woman never pays the bill. So guys, I'm plucking you. Meet the Ghanaians with moolah. They will always take care of you. So I'm plugging you, I'm plugging you now. So it was just so nice. The only part that I'm saying it ended in tears is when that lady called me and told me that he's gonna kill me in a mysterious way. Then that was shocking. That was not fun. Out of all the things that I had fun, but the truth is that TUT, I did mingle with my guest, and I'm sorry, you can't now. Because now Simple Beds is nowhere to be found. I'm still working at TUT. I just got out and redeem myself, be brave enough to tell people that I did have fun in 2010. I had a lot of fun, and I think it was the most experience that I just needed for that 2010. I hope I have covered everything that happened, and definitely you probably enjoyed the story time. You have learned your lesson. You have actually understood how I had so much experience for 2010 World Cup when I was hosting Ghanaians. Thank you so much for watching the story time. It's long, and I see it's very long, but I could not live anything out of it. It was just too nice. Thank you for watching, and please like, share and comment and tell me what is it that you did during the 2010 World Cup. What is it that was your experience? I had a lot of fun, and I will do it over and over and over again given the time. And thank you. See you on the next one. Goodbye.